All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining DataCon LA 2020. Welcome to the Data for Good track, and soon we'll be listening to Calling All Data Scientists for the Common Good in Cities session with Eva Pereira. I'm Noelle Graham, your host, and our co-host today is Eric Mena. We'll be moderating the chat and Q&A for you during this discussion. Eva is the Deputy Chief Data Officer for the City of Los Angeles. She manages the city's open data portal and leads the volunteer data programs for the city. Without further ado, I'll hand over to the speaker. Thank you again for being here today, Eva.
Great, thank you for that introduction. Should I go ahead and share my screen, or are you going to walk through?
Let's go ahead.
All right, I'll head back over here. And okay, 1 second. I can just move this. Great. All right, so thank you all for joining me today. I'm really excited to check out some of the later sessions, and I'm glad that you guys are here to join me to hear more about programs that the City of Los Angeles are running to help tap into the data science community and leverage those skills for some of the urgent challenges that the city is facing. So let's hop right into the need. It's almost a cliche at this point, but we truly are in unprecedented times. Not only are we facing a pandemic and social unrest, but we're also facing, some pretty catastrophic economic decline at the same time. And so all of these confounding crises are just amplifying the need for new programs and services and policies in our communities. And so to respond to this, the City of Los Angeles has rolled out all kinds of new programs and services. The Angelino card, we raised $36 million and distributed prepaid debit cards to help people pay rent and other, other expenses that they had at the beginning of the pandemic. We also distributed 20,000 meals to senior citizens who were in a high-risk group and concerned about exposure to the virus. And we've also rolled out new programs like alfresco dining, slow streets, and more. So lots of new programs, services, and policies have been rolled out since the start of the pandemic. And so in order to respond to this need, we have been leveraging our data to build all kinds of tools, all kinds of information tools. So for example, we have a recovery dashboard that tracks cases in the City of Los Angeles, and all kinds of testing stats and hospitalization rates. Everything you would need to know about COVID-19 in LA is in that dashboard. In addition to that, there's a daily data briefing. If you're curious for a deep dive on the stats for the City of Los Angeles, there's a daily data deck that gets released that has all the latest stats for the City of LA. And in addition to that, we've done all sorts of mapping projects for departments that look at location-based COVID risk scores to help departments assess the need in very localized settings. So all this to say, there's a lot of work that has emerged from these unfolding crises, and we could really use the data science community's help. So with that, I'd love to introduce one of our programs. It's called the Data Angels program. Some of you may have heard of it. It's essentially a program that's targeted to career data scientists. The goal is to bring in that outside talent to work on city analytics projects. So anyone with a background in data science or data visualization, even if you have a data analyst role, there are tons of projects and there's a lot of need, and we can definitely match you with a project that would showcase your skills and really help out the city at a time of need. Some past projects that have emerged from the Data Angels program are the map. We had a project on market value rentals that looked at neighborhoods that had the fewest amount of affordable housing fewest amount of affordable housing units for median incomes in that area. There were also projects around LA sanitation services. There was another dashboard built around local election contributions. And currently we actually have 4 projects that are underway right now. And I hope that some of the folks who are our current Data Angels are in the chat, but so those current projects right now are looking at COVID risk. We have another Data Angel who's working on our Angelino card project. A third Data Angel is working on an equity dashboard for the city. So we're in the mayor passed Executive Directive 27 that has asked all departments to do an analysis of racial equity, both within their department and in their programs and services. So we are working on a dashboard to, track that work. So there's another Data Angel working on that. And finally, we have a Data Angel who's working on a dashboard of Black-owned businesses in LA and trying to understand, where are PPP loans and microloans being distributed, and how can we help those Black-owned businesses get access to capital during these trying times. So that's just a preview of some of the Data Angels projects, past and present. Now, the Data Science Federation is another program that we have in collaboration with local universities. So we have 17 universities that we've worked with in the past, and over 30 projects and 300 students that have participated in this program. And the way the Data Science Federation works is we will scope out a project with a data science or analytics project with the department, and they will basically we'll find a university that is interested in taking it on, and students will work on that project over the course of the semester. So these are typically longer term engagements, and the Data Science Federation is really targeted at data science students in school. So we have a couple projects that we're actually scoping out for spring semester of 2021. One of them is with Streets LA. We're looking to improve our asset management system. So we have like a data engineering project that we're in the process of scoping out for that. And another project is with also Streets LA. We're looking at street sweeping and how to optimize that across the city. So if you're interested, just reach out to the team and let us know, and we're happy to set up a call and help onboard you to this program. Some examples of Data Science Federation past projects are this predicting displacement project, looking at Ellis Act removals, and also a project around automated bicycle and pedestrian counting using computer vision. So why join? There are a couple of reasons why I think this program is, a great opportunity for, both the city, but also, data scientists in LA. First and foremost, you get to apply your data analysis and visualization skills to real world problems. So, if you're a student and you want to sink your teeth into some, meaningful projects, this is a great program. You get to work on important issues that are affecting your city. You get some high impact projects for your resume. And finally, it's just good karma, great karma points. We could really use your help. So a final reason to join. Some of the program logistics are first and foremost, there's the application. And so we right now have a rolling application for the Data Angels program. So there's a link in the slide deck, which I believe everyone has access to in the Whova app. But if not, I can follow up with that afterward. But rolling applications for the Data Angels program, basically as we get projects, we'll start matching people based on the skills that project needs. And if you're in academia, we are going to have some projects scoped out, like I said, for spring 2021. So just email us if you're interested in participating, and we will try to match your group of students with a project. So after the application, there's a matching process. Like I said, we try to match based on skills. And so once that matching process takes place, we have just ongoing project management throughout the life of the project. So we'll typically do weekly or bi-weekly check-ins, and we'll try to bring in departments into those conversations. And then there's a final deliverable. So there will be a presentation of findings at the conclusion of the project. We'll bring in the relevant departments so that those recommendations are heard by the people who can take action. And yeah, that's typically where we'll wrap up the project. So a little bit more about our team. So I sit within the mayor's data team. We're in the mayor's office of budget and innovation. And so our team is essentially responsible for, helping steer data strategy for the city. We also manage our city's open data program. And finally, we work on data-driven projects for departments. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about our team, there's a Medium blog that we publish to relatively frequently. So our team members, we're small and mighty. We're a team of 3, but we have quite a few, interns and volunteers that we work with as well. So a small team, but mighty. So Jean Holm is our Chief Data Officer. She actually came to us. She previously worked on data.gov for the federal government. So she has great experience in the open data space, and previously worked at NASA. There's me, the Deputy Chief Data Officer, and I sort of manage our open data program as well as the Data Angels program. And then we have Preston Mills, who is our Community Data Manager and works a lot with local universities. So like I said, part of our job is to manage the city's open data program. So we have 2 data portals, the GeoHub, which is the home for our geospatial or map-based data, and our Socrata open data portal, which is our home for tabular data or like spreadsheet style data. So typically, we'll work with data that the departments have, and a lot of times it's just hosted on our open data portals for these programs. Some examples of some projects that we've worked on since the start of the pandemic and since the start of the pandemic are this COVID-19 risk map. So I went through this exercise early on of basically pulling data from the CDC on socially vulnerable communities. And so I was able to map, where are the communities, basically by census tract, so population of 4,000 or less, across Los Angeles that have been identified as socially vulnerable by the CDC. And then on top of that, how we zoom in or narrow down communities that have known underlying risk factors. So the CDC early on had identified that people over the age of 65 were especially at high risk, people with cardiovascular disease were at high risk, and people with asthma were at high risk. So I did an analysis that just looked at those communities to identify, pockets throughout LA that we should be focusing on. So what you're seeing now is just a screenshot of those series of maps. And this one focused on senior communities in LA that were considered especially high risk. Another project that we've been working on is this recovery dashboard, and the innovation team actually, which is in the same department, is publishing this daily data deck. So like I said, if you're interested in diving in on all the metrics and stats related to COVID, I really recommend you check out coronavirus.lacity.org/data. And That's really it. I think we can wrap things up here. I really encourage you guys to get in touch if you're interested in volunteering your skills and time to data projects at the city. There's a lot of need, and we really encourage you guys to reach out. So if you're interested in learning more, just reach out to mayor.opendata@lacity.org. And I'm happy to schedule a time to talk to you and your team and hopefully get you onboarded. So thank you guys. Happy to turn it over to the Q&A. There we go.
Thank you, Eva. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, okay. We currently have no questions in the Q&A, but if anyone wants to bring anything up, please go ahead and do so. Just so everyone knows too, I posted all the links, including the COVID dashboard and how to contact Eva and their team, as well as the blog articles in the chat box, if you guys want to refer to those for quick reference. Thank you.
Great. All right. Well, I mean, I'm happy to answer questions in the Whova app through 12:55. So I think what I'll do is, if any questions bubble up between now and then, just reach out through the app and I'm happy to respond.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eva. And then thank you again for everyone for being here. Really appreciate it. Please contact the speaker if you have any further questions. You heard that she'll be available in the WOA app, the Q&A area, so she will be available for the rest of the session. Please provide your comment and feedback to us or the organizers on the community board, or start a discussion there to connect with others in the DataCon LA 2020 community. We would love the feedback. This is our first virtual event. Let's make next year's better. Thank you all again. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for being a part of this year's DataCon LA.
Great. Thank you. Bye.